welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the heart of Genoa City. Today is a beautiful day to explore the intricate webs of love, betrayal, and redemption on the young and the restless. Grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let us unpack the latest explosive developments that are set to forever alter the lives of our favorite characters. The atmosphere in Genoa City is currently crackling with an undeniable, suffocating tension, beautifully juxtaposed against moments of profound triumph and familial reconciliation. As the neon lights prepare to illuminate the grand opening of the city's newest nightlife hotspot, a much darker, far more sinister shadow is creeping across the sprawling grounds of the Newman Ranch. The emotional dichotomy of this week's events perfectly encapsulates the tragic and triumphant duality of these iconic families. On one side of the city, there is an intoxicating celebration of youth, ambition, and second chances, while on the other, the ghosts of the past are being resurrected, threatening to drag everyone back into a nightmare they fought so desperately to escape. Nick Newman finds himself carrying a crushing emotional burden as he prepares to deliver a truly alarming piece of news to Sharon Newman. The psychological weight of this revelation is immense, especially considering Nick's own fragile state as he battles the excruciating demons of his fentanyl addiction. Approaching Sharon with this information requires a delicate balance of honesty and protective instinct, a balance Nick has struggled to maintain in the wake of his recent traumas. He knows that the words he is about to speak will shatter the fragile peace Sharon has managed to cultivate, plunging her back into a state of hypervigilant terror that she has spent years trying to overcome through therapy and sheer willpower. When Nick finally breaks the news that Matt Clark will be taking up residence at the Newman Ranch, the revelation strikes Sharon with the force of a physical blow. The mere mention of Matt's name is enough to send a visceral shudder down her spine, awakening the deeply buried memories of the severe abuse and psychological torture he subjected her to in the past. For Sharon, Matt is not just a bad memory, he is the embodiment of her darkest nightmares, a monster who once held her life and sanity in his cruel hands. The sheer audacity of this arrangement leaves her breathless, her mind racing with terrifying scenarios of what Matt's proximity could mean for her safety and the safety of her children. In a desperate bid to mitigate her spiraling panic, Nick vehemently promises Sharon that Victor Newman has deployed his elite security team to monitor Matt's every single move. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nick tries to project a confidence he likely does not fully possess, assuring her that Matt will be contained and that the ranch is the safest place to keep an eye on a known predator. However, these reassurances ring somewhat hollow in the face of the Newman patriarch's long, documented history of losing control over the dangerous elements he invites into his orbit. Sharon listens to Nick's desperate pleas for calm, but the cold, hard reality of Matt's physical presence in their lives remains an immovable, terrifying fact. Despite Nick's assurances, Sharon's razor-sharp intuition immediately kicks into overdrive, sparking a flurry of desperate questions regarding the true nature of Victor's clandestine agreement with Matt. She knows Victor Newman never acts out of charity. Every move is a calculated piece on a grand, Machiavellian chessboard. While she rightfully suspects that Victor is orchestrating a master plan, she remains blissfully, perhaps mercifully, unaware of the specific, toxic details of Victor's agenda to use Matt as a mold to systematically destroy Kane Ashby and Chancellor Industries. This lack of concrete information only amplifies her anxiety, leaving her to grapple with the terrifying unknown of what Victor and Matt might be plotting in the shadows. Faced with this overwhelming, paralyzing dread, Sharon makes a profound, conscious choice to compartmentalize her terror for the sake of her son. She absolutely refuses to allow the looming specter of Matt Clark to cast a shadow over what is destined to be one of the most important nights of Noah Newman's life. Drawing upon the deep, boundless well of her maternal strength, Sharon forces her anxieties into a tightly locked box in the back of her mind. She channels every ounce of her emotional energy into radiating pride and unwavering support, determined to be the glowing, encouraging mother Noah needs as he steps into the spotlight. Meanwhile, a completely different, deeply emotional narrative is unfolding across town as Malcolm Winters returns to Genoa City with a heavy heart and a profound sense of unfinished business. Malcolm's recent brush with death has fundamentally altered his perspective on life, stripping away the superficial grievances and leaving only a raw, urgent need for truth and reconciliation. His journey back to the city is not driven by vengeance or anger, but by a desperate, soulful yearning to close the painful chapters of his past and build a foundation for whatever time he has left. He carries the weight of a miraculous second chance, and he intends to use it to heal the deepest wounds in his family's history. This quest for closure leads Malcolm directly to Dr. Stephanie Simmons, setting the stage for a deeply moving, emotionally charged confrontation regarding the staggering lie she maintained for decades. For years, Stephanie concealed the explosive truth that Holden Novak is Malcolm's biological son. A deception that robbed Malcolm of the opportunity to watch his child grow and robbed Holden of his true heritage. The air between them is thick with the heavy, suffocating weight of this lost time and the profound regret that Stephanie indelibly carries. She stands before him vulnerable and deeply remorseful, fully prepared to face the righteous anger of the man she deceived for so long. However, in a breathtaking display of grace and emotional maturity, Malcolm makes it unequivocally clear that he harbors no lingering resentment or blame towards Stephanie for her past actions. His harrowing battle with aplastic anemia, a terrifying ordeal that brought him to the very brink of the abyss, has washed away his capacity for holding grudges. He looks at Stephanie not as the architect of his pain, but as a flawed human being who made a desperate choice. Malcolm acknowledges the profound miracle of his survival, expressing a deep, resonant gratitude for Kane Ashby's selfless bone marrow donation and the brilliant, tireless efforts of Stephanie's medical team that pulled him back from the edge of death. United by this profound, shared sense of gratitude and the fragile beauty of this second chance, Malcolm and Stephanie find themselves standing on common ground, looking toward a shared horizon. They collectively agree that dwelling on the painful mistakes of the past will only squander the precious time they have been given. Instead, they make a conscious, heartfelt pact to move forward, focusing all their energy on building a genuine, loving family dynamic through their son, Holden. This agreement marks the beginning of a beautiful, redemptive chapter for the Winters family, proving that even the deepest, most agonizing betrayals can be healed by the transformative power of forgiveness and the undeniable bond of blood. As we reflect on these incredibly powerful storylines, it is impossible not to feel a profound, aching resonance with the journeys of these deeply flawed, beautifully complex characters. We watch them navigate the treacherous waters of Genoa City, constantly battered by the storms of betrayal, addiction, and deceit, yet they continually rise from the ashes with a breathtaking, stubborn resilience. There is a genuine, subjective beauty in witnessing Malcolm's capacity for absolute forgiveness in the face of a stolen lifetime. Just as there is a heartbreaking tragedy in watching Sharon desperately mask her paralyzing trauma to protect her son's joy. These moments transcend the screen, touching the very core of our own human experiences with grief, grace, and the relentless, terrifying pursuit of happiness in a world that so often feels determined to break us. This poignant resilience is on full, spectacular display as Noah Newman puts the final, meticulous touches on the grand opening of the newly reimagined Shadow Room. The anticipation surrounding this event has reached a fever pitch, fueled by a massive, viral social media campaign that has the entire city buzzing with electric excitement. Noah has poured his heart, his artistic vision, and his soul into creating a space that honors the legacy of the original club while carving out a distinct, modern identity of its own. As the doors finally open, the sheer magnitude of his achievement is palpable, transforming the venue into a pulsating sanctuary of music, light, and unbridled celebration. The guest list for this monumental evening reads like a veritable who's who of Genoa City's elite, bringing together families that are often fractured by boardroom brawls and romantic betrayals. Malcolm, Stephanie, and Holden arrive together, presenting a united, hopeful front as a newly formed family unit. They are joined by Claire Newman, who temporarily sets aside her own complex family dramas to support the festivities. Kane and Lily Winters also make a stunning appearance, their presence a testament to their own fragile, but hopeful journey toward reconciliation. The room is packed with the city's most prominent residents, all gathering to witness Noah's spectacular triumph. The emotional crescendo of the night arrives when Sharon Newman steps forward to raise a glass to her son. The room falls into a respectful hush as she delivers a toast that is overflowing with genuine, radiant maternal pride and profound love. Her words are a beautiful, shining beacon of light, completely eclipsing the dark, terrifying thoughts of Matt Clark that she has fought so hard to suppress all evening. Noah listens to his mother's heartfelt tribute, his eyes shining with deep appreciation, cherishing every single syllable of her support as he basks in the glow of his hard-fought success. Yet, even as the champagne flows and the music swells in a triumphant symphony of joy, the ominous, suffocating shadow of the Newman Ranch continues to loom in the distance. The fragile peace that Sharon, Nick, and the Winters family are currently enjoying is balanced on the razor's edge of Victor Newman's ruthless, unseen machinations and Matt Clark's unpredictable, dormant malice. As the residents of Genoa City dance the night away, blissfully unaware of the treacherous current swirling beneath their feet, one cannot help but wonder, how long will this beautiful, delicate illusion of safety last before the monsters in the dark finally decide to strike?